I'm April McLean, and this is my husband Tommy McLean. He is going to be my student today, and we're going to teach the lesson about Maya Angelou and her poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Okay? All right. Okay. Hey, Tommy. It's time for literacy. Are you ready?
Miss McLean, I'm ready.
All right. Okay, today we're going to learn a lesson about Maya Angelou's poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And it's a good poem. So I've got some pictures that I want to show you. This is a picture of two birds. Okay? Look at those pictures. What is this bird?
It's a free bird.
Yes, it's a free bird. Now look at this one.
It's a bird in a cage.
It is a bird in a cage. All right. So which bird do you think is happier in those two pictures?
I think probably this one.
I think so too. Why do you think that one's free? Or why do you think that one's happier?
Because it's not in the cage like the other one.
That's right. I would be happier if I wasn't in a cage, huh? What about you? Have you ever felt like this? You ever felt like this bird that's in the cage?
I have.
Yeah. Doesn't feel very good, does it?
No.
No. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to listen to a reading of Maya Angelou's poem. So let's listen to this. We're going to follow along too. We have it written out here, so I want to follow along while we listen.
The free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with fearful trill of the things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright morn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
All right. What do you think about that poem?
That's a good one.
I like it. Did you understand it? Were there some things in there that you didn't understand?
Yeah, a couple of the words.
Okay, well let's take our vocabulary fold out and let's write down the words that you are having trouble with, okay? Let's look. Did you have any in the first part here?
What's this word?
That's current. Do you know what that means? It on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. Is current one that you're having trouble with?
Start right here.
Write it right there where it says look. All right. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill.
Yeah, I don't know what that word means.
Trill? Okay, write that one down. So he sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on a distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting. Which one? Sighing? Okay, write that one down. The fat worm's waiting on a dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on a grave of dreams, his shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Okay, so we've got current, trill, and sighing. Let's work with those words, okay? What I want you to do right now is I want you to look at current, and I want you to copy it down over here. Looks like you've spelled it all correctly. Okay. Trill. And sighing. Now say current.
Current.
Good. Can you spell it out there? Can you spell it without looking? Maybe not yet. All right, trill. Say trill.
Trill.
Good. Now spell it there. Now say sighing.
Sighing.
Good. Now put it there. Now you're going to try to spell it without looking. So let's start with current. Okay? Get a good look at it. All right, now write it there. Uh-oh. Let's check. Did you get it right?
I left off the T.
You did leave off the T. So write your T. We can work on that later, can't we? All right. Now we're going to look at trill. See it? Now try to write it without looking. All right, let's fold it out and see if you got it right. Good job. Okay, now we're going to do sighing. Write that and see if you get that correct. Okay, let's unfold it and see. Good job, Tommy. Yeah. All right. So now we're going to look at these words and we're going to work with them a little bit, okay? So the first thing we're going to work with is rhyming, okay? Rhyming is when something sounds similar, okay? So cat, a word that would rhyme with cat would be hat. Okay, you do one. Cat, what else?
Bat.
Bat, yes. All right. Now let's talk about the initial sound. That's the sound at the beginning of the word. Sand starts with S, which makes a S sound. You try big. We'll do this one together. Big.
B.
B. Yes, good job. All right, now look at the ending sound to a word. Train. Train. N is the ending of train. N. All right, what about sick? Sick.
Sick.
So what's the ending sound? Good. All right, the sound in the middle, that's what we're going to look at next. So when you do your words, you'll look at what sounds are in the middle. Okay, so rake, a. What about pin? What's in the middle of pin?
I.
In. Yes.
I.
In. Good. All right, how many syllables each word has is, you remember you put your hand here, or you can tap for syllables. Cupcake. Cupcake.
Cupcake.
Good job. Octopus. How many syllables does it have?
octopus.
Good. Very good. So how many is that?
3.
Very good. Okay. We're also going to do, we're going to say it and kind of sound it out. Okay. So sock. Good. Let's do race. A. Now this mud. Try that one.
D.
Good. Very good. All right. Now, these words were words that you were having trouble with the meanings. You weren't really sure what they meant. And meanings are very important to the story because if you don't know the meanings, it doesn't really make sense. The poem, maybe, some parts of it. So I've got your fold outs, some fold outs that you can use to put your vocabulary words in, or you can use a vocabulary wheel. Which one would you rather use?
To the wheel.
Okay. All right. Okay, so remember when we do the vocabulary wheel, the word goes on the outside and then you fold it down and then the definition goes on the inside. Okay? So you're going to use your smartphone, bring your own device, BYOD, and you're going to look on the dictionary website. Okay. You're doing current first? Okay. Let's look at the definitions there.
Current.
What's this one up here?
Belonging to the present time.
Okay. What is this one? Where do you see current in here? Can you read this?
Free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends.
Okay. So this is talking about what? What's a stream?
It's got the other word. Yeah, a stream is like water.
Okay. Floating. There's nothing about water there. Look at the next definition and see what that says.
A body of water or moving in a definite direction.
Okay. So which one do you think that is? Which is the definition?
It's that one.
Okay.
The body of water moving in a direction.
All right, fill that in on your vocabulary wheel. Okay. So current, now that you know the definition, makes that make a lot more sense, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay, so let's look at the next word that you wrote. You wrote trill. So look up that definition. An alternation
of sung or played notes.
Good. All right. So what does that sound like? Maybe a
Sounds like singing. Singing different sounds.
Okay, so write that down there. Fill in your vocabulary wheel. Good. That makes this part make a lot more sense, doesn't it? The caged bird sings with a
fearful trill.
Yeah. So maybe a sad song or a scary song where he's scared or something. Doesn't that sound right? Okay, what's your next word?
Sighing.
Sighing. Good.
A long, deep,
Audible.
breath expressing sadness.
Okay. So you could say a long, deep breath expressing sadness. You could write that on there.
Okay.
Look how they use sighing. Sighing trees. Do you think trees breathe?
No.
No, but sometimes when you hear sounds, they can sound sad, like when the wind is blowing through on cold nights outside.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Sounds kind of sad, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay. Now let's take our vocabulary words, and we talked about rhyming earlier, and all of these initial sounds and what's in the middle and syllables. Let's do the rhyming first. Can you think of a word that rhymes with trill?
Spill.
Spill. Think of another one.
Will.
What about sighing?
Trying.
Trying. Good. What would the bird in the cage might be doing that rhymes with sighing?
Crying.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at the initial sounds of your words that you wrote down. So that means the beginning sounds. So say it.
Current.
What's the beginning sound? Good. All right, look at this one.
Trill.
What's the beginning sound? Very good.
Sighing.
What's the beginning sound? Okay. Now let's look at the end sound, the ending sound. Say current.
Current.
Okay, what's the ending sound? Good.
Trill. Ooh. Ooh.
Good. All right, what's the ending sound of sighing?
Sighing. Ing. G.
Good. All right, let's do the sounds that are in the middle for current.
Current.
There's another one in the middle too.
Current.
Okay, good. What about trill? Good. All right, what about sighing?
I.
Good.
Sigh.
All right, what about syllables? How many syllables do your words have? You can tap it out or you can...
Current.
Okay, so how many syllables does it have?
Just 2.
Good. What about trill?
Trill. Just 1.
All right, look at sighing.
Sighing.
So
there's 2.
Good. All right. Now we're going to look at our words and we're going to sound them out. You've already been kind of doing that, so it shouldn't be too hard. So current, sound that out. Break it down into its sounds.
Int.
Okay?
Ill.
Very good.
Ing.
Very good. Good job. Okay. All right. Let's read it. Let's read it again together now that you've done all this practice, and look and see if this poem makes some more sense to you, okay? All right, ready? A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams, his shadow shouts on nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Okay, good job. You did a really good job. High five. Yeah. All right, now we're going to play a game with our poem, the roll and retell game. Remember this game? We played it when we read. You like this game?
I do like this game.
Okay. All right, so you're going to roll the dice, and whatever number you roll, you're going to answer the corresponding question. Okay? 5. What does 5 say?
What happens at the beginning of the poem, the story?
Okay.
Then it start with the free bird
It
and
does.
talking about how the free bird likes doing things.
What kinds of things was it doing in the...
Where he leaps in the wind.
Yeah. All right, roll again. See what you get. Yeah, he flies. 6.
What happens at the end of the poem?
Good. What happens at the end of the poem?
The bird that's in the cage is still in the cage.
It is. Yeah. All right. So roll again. 4.
What might the characters be feeling? I think the cage bird is probably sad.
Yeah.
Because he can't be out like the free bird. The free bird's probably happy.
What's the bird in the cage singing about? What's his trill about?
Maybe about how he can't do what the other birds do. Because he's in the cage.
Good. All right. Now here's what I want to do next. I want us to make up some sentences. I want you to make up some sentences using those words that you weren't sure about earlier, but we know what they mean now, don't we? Okay. So I want you to make up your own sentence using current. Remember, it talks about water. There were 2 ways we could use current, weren't there? The fish floats in the current. Good job. Yeah. All right. What about trill? Make up a word about trill. About a trill. The bird let out a sad trill. Very good. Good job. Yeah. All right. Sighing. Make a sentence with sighing. The bird in the cage spends its life sighing. Oh, that's sad. But good sentence. Yeah. All right. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you are going to write a story about a bird. And I would like for you to use your vocabulary words somewhere in your story.
Okay.
And you've got a choice of where you write your story, okay? You can make a story on PowerPoint and you can use Google Images, or you can use the story blocks like we've used before where you roll and your character is set and then you roll again and it gives you some places your character can go and so you can use the story blocks, or you can work on storybird.com and make your story in there and use their illustrations. Which one would you rather do?
I like the Storybird.
Okay. Do you want to do the story on the iPad or do you want to do it on the desktop computer?
I'll take the iPad.
Okay. That way you can get comfortable and
Yeah.
All right. Good job, man. So I look forward to seeing your story.
All right.
Hop to it.